Hey, what's going on? This is Justin here, and I am back with another creator commentary. This time I'm talking about a bunch of digital art I've worked on over the last few weeks. And as you can see with this first one, I had this idea about this quote that I heard from Steven Universe, which is "My hurt is on the inside," and I felt that was very relevant to how I was feeling over the last couple months in regards to just kind of everything going on in the world. And as you saw there, my first design wasn't really nailing it, wasn't really hitting it. So I retooled it and went for a more somber piece. I think the first time I was trying to force the feeling with the, sort of sad version of Thump and like the X-ray into my heart, and it just didn't work out. So I came up with this image surrounded by all these word balloons about, people asking me how I am, and, just telling people that I'm fine, but not really expressing how I really want to feel. Um, and, I have a lot of feelings, and I love to uh, express them through my art. And I don't know why this image was so striking until I realized that it looked like the cover for this book slash movie called The Hate That You Give, or The Hate You Give, and it had a similar vibe. So it's really interesting when an image sort of hits you and then it's kind of buried in your subconscious and it kind of presents itself and when you're thinking of something or trying to make something and reference it. Now this next piece was in response to the terrible tragedy that happened at the Lapu Lapu Festival in Vancouver in Canada, where a man drove his car through the festival and injured several people and ran over a bunch of people. And it was at this Filipino Day celebration that this tragedy struck. And, the world's news really affects me. And when I found out about this thing, especially because it was in regards to a Filipino celebration and Filipino culture, I thought it would be a very healthy thing for me to draw a picture and attach a bunch of links to the picture that would send the viewer to help donate and raise money for all the victims of this senseless tragedy. So I'm using my characters from Juju's World of Play here because the character Juju is of Filipino ethnicity. And in all the posts describing this tragedy, they talked about the city of Vancouver and the Filipino community there rising. And so I thought it'd be very poignant to place them on the Filipino sun. And then the waves there and the mountains and the stars are all images that are taken from the different flags. So the Filipino flag and the Vancouver, British Columbia flag, and the character of Jerry is holding a Filipino flag. And in a minute here, you'll see that he's wearing a Canadian t-shirt. And the color scheme for this, the palette for this, came straight from those different flags. And the colors of the characters came from the cover of the comic book. And I thought this was my way of, dealing with the violence that was described when this happened. I feel like a lot of my posts lately have been in response to things that are going on in the world. And so I was very intentional when I made this drawing and share the respective links on how to help the people of British Columbia and Vancouver. And I hope that some of that information got through. Now this piece was a really fun one. I wanted to do a Banksy, and so I worked on drawing LB as the titular girl with the balloon, and then making the balloon a thump balloon. And this was just a really fun way to sort of cleanse the timeline of my art recently, because I had been promoting the Kickstarter, which didn't get funded. It failed, and so I was in my feelings about that, and I just wanted to make something different and fun, and I just thought about this image from the that Banksy had drawn a long time ago that gets, repurposed and reused all the time. So this last piece was in celebration of Pride Month. It was inspired by a Sesame Street post that had all these different Muppet hands holding together and talking about everyone being welcome, no matter, what their sexual identity was. And that really sort of spoke to me in a way, because I have a lot of friends and family who are LGBTQ plus, and I wanted to do something inspired by that. So then I came up with the idea of heart hands, but all these different hands, all these different colors coming together and forming one big heart in celebration of Pride Month and being who you are. The only problem I had was coming up with what to put inside of the heart. And I looked up different quotes about love and being connected and staying connected and, learning empathy. And this is what I came up with. So I hope you enjoy this, and thanks for watching.